I'm scared of adulthood. The expectation of figuring it all out, the pressure of doing well for other people's standards, the expected change in personality to be more mellowed out and force your childlike behavior out the window and be serious in life. It doesn't need to be this way, and I really, really need to unlearn this, and so do you.
We're back in the kitchen, baby. Adulthood isn't even that scary. It's the idea that has been created by society of adulthood that is scary. What is scary to me is the expectations of society from every age group. It's like when you are a teenager, it's expected of you to do certain things. When you are ages like 18 to 25, it's expected of you to like become a rich millionaire. From like ages 25 to like 40, it's expected that you're in the workforce and you buy a house, you have a car, you have kids. Feels like it's just expected that you are just consuming and giving money and making money and consuming and making money. No one's actually asking or thinking about the mental health and psychology of humans and what's actually natural to be doing at each stage, which is why I am questioning it.
I went through school and life seamlessly almost. It was like I was gliding because I was awarded so much for abiding by the rules of the system. What rules are these? Rules such as raise your hand, ask to go to the bathroom, and also be polite and nod when others speak, and do as you're told and be obedient. And I obviously followed through because I didn't know any better. So one can see that by growing up and learning this type of behavior and seeing the way that your parents act, other people's parents act, it kind of gives you a perception of how you should be acting in adulthood, right? Here's another thing. One day I saw a woman in her 30s, straight living her life, and it angered me, a 10-year-old kid. It angered me because it seemed to me that she is not living properly and according to the plan. She didn't have kids or an adult job, and therefore she had no ambitions in life, and therefore I can judge.
It's insane. I'm getting like an influx of ideas right now. Perhaps it's because there's fresh snow on the ground. That's like nature's way of literally putting water, like the water element and another form onto us. And so when we go outside for walks, it's just like in us and all around us. Like the entire environment is so beautiful right now. I'm so in love with the world.
You see, it was me. It was my problem because I was so limited. I didn't understand how this woman could live so freely, and it was because I wanted that. I'm the one who wanted that, and I despise someone else for living the way that I actually wanted to. It almost scared me, so my body and my emotions' first reaction was anger, which is a lot of people's initial reaction, to be honest. But this taught me a lot of things because this actually began to break me out of my shell and see that, hey, someone else is living like this. They're an adult. Maybe there is more to life.
I want to be thriving. Okay, I want to see the ocean every day. I want to be surrounded by nature. I want to be creating. Like every other age, there are hardships in every phase of life. I believe that adulthood is the cultivation and you get to enjoy the fruits of your labor. At least that's what I believe right now, because the other age groups, you don't really have control. Not that you ever have control, but you have even less control over your free will because you're born with a family and they're taking care of you. God bless our families. You are under the roof of other people's dictation. Now, adulthood is very interesting because we get to have more free will. You have the ability, legally, in the eyes of society, to be your own person. So yeah, I think adulthood should bring a beautiful sense of cultivation of what we are, truly who we are. We get to step into that higher purpose. Now that I'm entering adulthood, I am terrified. I've always just assumed like a 9 to 5 the rest of my life, have kids at a certain age, do exactly what my parents did, buy a house, pay the mortgage for the next 30 years, and then retire when you're 60 and barely able to walk. Okay? The guy is probably like, this bitch is talking to herself. I'm out. I haven't seen an adult have the energy that I want to embody. In my life, at least. Do they exist? Of course. Like, have I been able to meet these people? No, I haven't. What I'm noticing happening more in my life now is I'm meeting these people. Like when I went to Vipassana, which was the 10-day meditation course that I did, I met so many adults there that were already well into their 30s, well into their 40s, some were in their 60s, and they have such an energy and they made me feel hope. In my culture, whatever you want to call it, I don't want to blame. I love the people in my life, but I think nobody woke up to the fact that there's more to life. And so when you're surrounded by adults who live their adulthood, abiding by societal standards, not questioning anything, not really living, in my opinion, that's my opinion. Doesn't mean it's right or wrong, but they didn't actually live. They haven't opened their eyes to see what a beautiful place our souls have come to. Spirituality wasn't even a thing. Like, in fact, it was the opposite. It was like, you're depressed and you need to go to a mental asylum if you start thinking this way because you clearly have problems. So that's that's how I grew up. Even these adults, by the way, if they're just brought to the light, they will initiate their own journeys and they will start living. And I've seen this happen. My dad actually recently has started to become more spiritual, which makes me very happy. I'm just glad at the age of 24, finally unlearning a lot of things that, you guys are good, and doing a lot of unlearning of old habits that were not serving me anymore. Adulthood does not need to be painful.
There is no correct way to adult, okay? There is no right, there is no wrong. You get to pick what your avatar does in this lifetime, and you are your own being. Every single one of us is different. We have different likings and different dislikings. We each have an original gift that we are possessing on this planet. I am a firm believer of that. So do what you want with that, man. It doesn't need to look a certain way. Don't let the capitalist culture get to you. Do not let other people's expectations of you drag you down. Don't hurt others. Just keep doing you and everything will be absolutely fine. Also, adulthood can be fun. We can add a little bit of spice to this phase of our life. I mean, we have the power and the free will at this point because legally we are an adult. So this should be viewed as a sacred and a very fun time of our life. It should not be feared the way I was always fearing not being able to fit this mold of what an adult is supposed to do and the responsibilities that come with it. All those things are a byproduct, but what I'm really going to try to do is just build a fulfilling life so that I can be a good human being, okay? Regardless of age, regardless of adulthood or teenage life or any of these little things that we're supposed to fit into and what comes with the expectation of growing up. I'm just going to be who I am.
Pretty much what I'm trying to say, we don't need to be stressing about adulthood because every phase has its own journeys. This is advice that I'm giving to myself as well. You can make it into anything that you want. You do you, boo. If you enjoy content like this, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. Much love to you all. See you guys next video.